Phoenix is with us again. Our little guy is just teething and not happy, so I'm letting him join us. You guys, it's snowing here today, and we're all working on colds here in the house. So I got my coffee, and I'm just like bundled up and ready to talk about blush. So, okay, so blush is kind of a hard one to talk to the general public about because I do think blush is pretty individualized, all right? But I'm gonna go over some general rules or, you know, some tips when picking out a blush that's gonna be more natural on you. And then once spring hits and we're all a little bit more bronzy, then I'm gonna suggest some brighter colors that are beautiful because I do think your blush changes once spring and summer hits, okay? All right, so I wrote it down. I wrote some stuff down, so I have some notes today that I'm gonna go over. First, let's talk about brushes, all right? So there's several different types of brushes that you can use for blush. One is the angled contour brush, right, that I've seen a lot of people use because some people like that like harsh kind of a, you know, a contour type of look in a blush. So that can be very pretty. So that's one choice. Another choice is a smaller blush brush like this one. This one's gonna make it go on pretty compact, right? So there's not a whole lot of like blending that this brush does. This just kind of makes it go on, and then you have to just kind of blend to work it, right? I use this for brides and photo shoots that need a more pop of color, a little bit more dimension in pictures, right? Then there's a brush that I don't own that's a little bit bigger than that. And that is just gonna make the color go on a little bit softer than that one and a little bit bigger, right? So a little bit more dispersed around the cheek area. And then the brush that I use and that I always suggest is a powder brush. The reason being is because this is gonna give you a more dispersed look, right? When you naturally blush, think about it. I mean, you don't just blush like right here, right? You get kind of a flush going on with your cheeks. So this is gonna give you that natural look. Plus, this alleviates the whole, your blush is just right here, which that can be beautiful, don't get me wrong. But personally, I like the look of where does it begin, or where does it end, and where does the next color begin. I like a really airbrush look to the skin, and that's what this is gonna give you for your blush, okay? So if you have never used this big of a brush for your blush, try it and just see if you like it, you know? Okay, so looking at my notes, kind of, you know, if you're gonna go in and get a blush and you're just looking for something like you're just gonna grab it off the shelf yourself and not really get matched, and you know, you just want something to wear every single day, this is kind of where to go from here, okay? So if you're light skinned, which means I'm more medium, if you are lighter than I am, you wanna go with a pink or a coral, so something in here. Right? So this is actually really sheer, just so you guys know. So it looks super bright, but it's super sheer. So you're gonna go in a pink or a coral color, you know, something like this, all right? Something in here. So there's a couple things that you can do. If you are pink toned, right? So you have a pink toned skin or a pink tone to your skin, this is gonna look more natural on you, is the pink one, right? Because that's naturally probably what you flush. If you have a warmer tone to your skin, this is probably gonna be more natural on you. But some people like to go opposite, which is really pretty too. So that's why it's like, there's no real rules to it. It's kind of hard just to say. But anyway, if you're more warm toned, lighter, this one right here, this is Peaches from MAC. Or this one's called I'm a Lover from, or I'm sorry, not I'm a Lover, Make You Mine from MAC, okay? Both are really beautiful and go on really nicely on a light skin tone, okay? Now, I should mention that I'm gonna talk about MAC blushes because that is really all I own. I think I have a couple of different brands, but I worked for MAC for like 8 or 9 years, or I can't remember, 10 years. And they're really generous when they give their artists makeup in including blush. So I have every color of blush, but it's all MAC, okay? Anyway, okay, so then moving on. If you are medium skin tone like myself, you're gonna go more rose and apricot, okay? So a more rose color is gonna be in here, right? This is called mocha. And then apricot is this one right in here, okay? So an apricot is like a peach, but more in like the reddish tone, right? So you're gonna go more apricot. All right, this is Sunbask from MAC. This is killer in spring for anyone. I absolutely love this one, and I suggest this one a ton. This one right here is called Mocha, and or I'm sorry, no, this is called Blush Baby. Okay, so this one is called Blush Baby I'm so sorry. This one is called Mocha, right? So either one of these works for a medium skin tone, and they're fairly close, which is why I messed them up. But this one's called Mocha. So those ones are beautiful for a medium skin tone. Okay, and then my darker friends, my brother's girlfriend is dark skinned, and she totally called me out. She's like, your videos aren't really aimed towards darker skins, and they're not. So when you move here, guess who just volunteered to be your model? You did. Okay, anyway, so these are better, these are best, more natural for my darker skin friends, right? So this one is called Laid Back. This is a cream blush, but they have one called Fever. That's beautiful also, that's a powder. And then I'm a Lover right here. I actually use this one quite a bit too. This one's pretty nice, but something more reddish or plum for you, okay? So anyway, let's go over different face shapes. So it's kind of like the contouring thing. Like, I don't really go into a corrective measure for blushes. I think blush is meant to accent the colors already on your face. The correctiveness can come by the form of a contour. But if you are just wearing a blush, like you don't do a contour, which I totally get and understand, this is kind of a general rule that I think. So if you have an oval face, you're super lucky. You can wear that anywhere. It just depends on how funky you want to get. If you have a round face, you want to go on your cheekbones and headed back, right? That's more where I like my blush. You okay? Hi. And then if you are heart-shaped, you want to do the apples of your cheeks kind of coming up more, like in here, like headed towards your temple, okay? And then if you're square-faced, the prettiest is more so just on the apples of your cheek and just blend it a little bit almost into your eye area, just kind of up, right? But you know, it's kind of like, I don't really follow those rules, but you know, that is a suggestion. If you do want to use your blush as kind of corrective, that's a suggestion, okay? All right, so let's get into different types. So if you have an oilier skin type, I suggest a matte color, no shimmer to it, all right? Because what the shimmer is gonna do is it's gonna go, usually people with oily skin have larger pores, so the shimmer is gonna go in and just highlight those pores, okay? So you don't wanna do something that's just going to highlight what you're self-conscious about anyway, right? So I would shy away from a shimmer and go with a more matte color, okay? And then if you are drier skin like I am, you know, I can't get enough doing this. I can't get enough moisture in my skin or hydration in my skin. So I like that look of a shimmer. So you want to stick with a shimmer, okay? So a couple colors that we always suggest behind the counter. Go over them. First one's called Prism. This one's beautiful on a lighter skin or a medium skin tone. Darker skin tone, it just tends to not, it kind of looks a little bit muddy on the skin. This is Angelina Jolie's blush color. So if you're looking at any picture of her, this is what she has on. It's called Prism from MAC, okay? Another one is Blush Baby or Mocha. These are the two that I lifted up for a medium skin tone in a rose. These ones are beautiful. I'm gonna put on the Mocha for you so you can see what that looks like. I'll just do that right now. So again, I have my my powder brush. And so one tip that is awesome is think of when you set your clocks, right? So in the spring, you spring forward. Okay, so with your blush, you wanna come farther forward on your face, because if you think about it, in spring the sun's shining a little bit brighter, and the sun's going to naturally hit you right here, right, more so than back here. So you want to spring forward, and then same thing in fall, you want to fall back with your blush. Okay, so right now we are in winter and fall, you know, or winter obviously, so I'm going to go a little bit farther back. But if you want just kind of a one-size-fits-all placement, just apples of the cheeks blended back towards your ear is pretty much suited for everybody, okay? But so here's the Mocha, and I'm gonna take this. So when I talk about forward and back, it's pretty much where your eye ends, okay? So like right in here is where you spring forward, and when you fall back, it's right in there, okay, behind the eye area. So there you go. See? Isn't that pretty? So see how that did to my face? It just kind of, I mean, where I placed it on myself, it did kind of contour a little bit more. It just, it elongated my face a little bit more, but super pretty. But you can see it's pretty sheer and it comes across kind of rosy, so it's really pretty. Okay, and then another color that is fantastic for everybody is called Warm Soul. This is a mineralized blush that is beautiful, okay? So this is so pretty. You could go, I mean, go get this. Even if you're dark skinned, it's gonna give you a little bit of a highlight. This is so pretty. So again, I'm gonna use my powder brush, and since this has a shimmer to it, I'm gonna bring it a little farther down, almost like a highlighter. Okay, but this one is like a fleshy, kind of warmer tone. Obviously it says Warm Soul. That works for everybody and it's beautiful. And then Peaches right here. That's a great one for everybody too. Lighter skin or medium skin, darker skin, this can look really pretty, but sometimes it's not enough for you. And then this one is called Make You Mine. This is that pink one that I suggested. This one's really pretty. On me, it doesn't really show up. So this is more for a lighter skin tone, okay? And then my go-to is I'm a Lover, because I naturally blush this red color. So I'm gonna put this right here on my apples. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's what I usually wear, is that right there, exactly that placement. So anyway, I will get into in a different segment about like if you have green eyes or, you know, red hair or something like that, different blushes that I suggest for you. But kind of this one's, you know, oh buddy, this one's a general rule that you can take in and help to pick out something, you know, that will be a pretty nude for you. So any questions, post them here on my Instagram at Breckhouse, and I can definitely help you. Okay, see you guys.